assembly, we have our code molding. We have custom made for us. It's our own profile that lays underneath the assembly tables because we measure on each stair what we're cutting. And then we recently made this little jig. So to return the back end of the code mold on the tread return side, we want to keep the same radius. So we did this on the oscillating spindle sander, and you just push it in and it's to the right diameter. Okay. So it just cuts it for you. Because we were doing it with, when I bought the company, they'd always used a belt sander, and they just kind of pushed it into the radius of it. And it was pretty good, but it wasn't terribly consistent. So doing this, it allows for the same exact thing every single time. And so just a little trick that, that's the only reason we bought this machine. So that's going really well. Other than that, we just have a planer and joiner, and we keep it pretty simple. Pretty much everything's done on the CNC. Our curved staircases, we don't build walls. It was built right there where it sits. Okay. So we build it to the treads. Since the treads are cut on the CNC, they're perfect. So we've always built to the tread and just stood up as we go. And then we do the outside lamination first, and then we build in. Okay. For the skirt. This particular one, for the first time, we actually dadoed out the risers in the tread. The skirt and the riser pockets on the treads. That way we could pull it really tight and keep that we weren't putting any spacers or anything to keep that radius consistent. The data dictated that, and it worked out really well. So that's how we're going to do it going forward.
So do you assemble them with just the first 1/4 inch layer?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And then build all up after.
Yep. So we do the outside 1/4 inch, or if it's a stringer, it's a 1/2 inch. Right. Depends on the radius and how thick we can go. But yeah, we do the outside of a skirt first, and then we do the inside of the stringer first, obviously, because that's the route pocket. Okay. So, and all of our radius molding gets cut out on the CNC. So we were doing that by hand, trammel points, and a bandsaw. The CNC's just made everything fit.
One thing I noticed on the curved stair, you have a center stringer. Do you do that on all your stairs? Or?
So typically if they are 48 inches or greater and out to out, we'll put in a center horse. Okay. This one is fully self-supporting. Okay, so they're not touching any walls, just at the header. So they're just going to drywall the underside and call it a day. Yeah, typically in that width we wouldn't do that. Yeah, they work out pretty well. Actually, we do a lot of new construction around recently switched these buttons. They used to tie back on the exterior house to keep the tread covers on. We were using a poplar strip that we stayed on. They never quite held well. This is our library of handrail parts for when a client comes in. So we have kind of the most common newel posts that we use in projects. Some are new that the client wanted, and we buy an extra one if it's a new one that we haven't sold recently, and then we'll clear coat it, and that way we have it for display. Just kind of order an extra one. And these are all the baluster library. So we have a catalog inside that we know where to pull from if a client wants a particular baluster. I think we've got around 100 or so that we keep in stock, wood and iron, for when a client comes in, they want to touch and feel it.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. So you keep them in those tubes.
Yeah, well, it's so damn dusty in here that. Yeah. And occasionally we'll do these rails on the top here are for 2 staircases or 3 staircases in Indianapolis. That we set the stairs on our curved staircases. We typically set them ourselves, so we hang on to the rail for them because they don't have anywhere to put them on the job site.
Right.
So that's where they end up.
So will you go back and install those then, or do they install that?
It depends on the builder if they want us to or not. Most new construction install in our market is done by the trim crew, and so the builder buys the parts from the lumberyard typically. We're now getting into that market where we're selling direct to the builder, and the trim guy would install it on site, but we're doing more and more new construction installations because we have the know-how and we have the manpower to do it. Right. We've even recently, we sell parts for new construction, we just bring them in and sell them out, and we do custom designs, we do the field measures, everything like that, but we're starting to sell the parts that are pre-finished. without install, because with all the engineered flooring that they're not really having hardwood guys there to stain the floors anymore. So to get pre-finished parts is easier.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I think it's a new market that we're trying to push here in Cincinnati.